One property or feature of ellipses is something called eccentricity. And it's just this number that we denote with E, and that's kind of confusing because it's not the natural base E, the natural number, 2.7 such and such. It's just the way we denote eccentricity of an ellipse. The way it's defined is to be the distance from the center to a focus divided by the distance from the center to a vertex. So for an ellipse, of course, the focus is always closer to the center. So this number is always between 0 and 1. Okay. If the eccentricity is 0, we actually have a circle. Okay, a circle is the least eccentric of all the ellipses. And actually, the only way that it would equal 1 is if the focus and the vertex are the same, which actually would produce something that's not an ellipse at all. So actually, this is not going to be able to equal 1. So let's look at an example. Find the equation of the ellipse whose vertices are plus or minus 5 with eccentricity equal to 1/4. So let's go and just draw what we have here. We have an ellipse that our vertices are at plus or minus 5 in the x direction. So we know that we've got an ellipse that looks something like that. And we know then that the distance from the center to the vertex is 5. And we know E is 1/4. So we've got 1/4 equals the distance from the center to the focus we don't know. That's usually called C. Over that center to the vertex is 5. So now we can multiply both sides by 5, and that tells us C is equal to 5/4. Now that we know C, we can get B for the ellipse. So we have C squared equals A squared minus B squared. So we have 25 over 16, that's C squared, equals A squared is 25 minus B squared. Well, if I add B squared over and subtract 25 over 16, I have B squared equals, well, 25 minus 25 over 16. And in order to get this, I need a common denominator, which is going to be 16. So if I multiply 25 by 16 over 16, I get 400 over 16. Okay, minus the 25 over 16. So, well, that's 375 over 16 for B squared. That's all I actually need for my equation, because the equation has B squared in it. The equation of our ellipse, our center is 0, so we've got x squared over 5 squared, which is 25, plus y squared over B squared, 375 over 16, equals 1.